Morning, guys. At least it is here. Wednesday morning, the usual. I should have recorded it yesterday, but I didn't. I was busy yesterday. We took the kids out to Jungle Land, which is just like a massive indoor play area for kids. The parents have a load of benches. They can have coffee, have some lunch, or a piece of cake. So me and Kelly went. I think the kids lasted about 3.5 hours. And they were all sweaty, wasn't even in it. They were all exhausted. Bless them. It did them good though. And me and Kelly got to sit and have a coffee and a hot chocolate and a chin wag, which we don't get so much over the holidays with the kids being off. And yeah, so it was nice. Sorry, I should have asked already. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. Sorry, that was just my other half grabbing his tablet. Well, my tablet, our tablet, whatever. So yeah, yesterday was fun. Kids thoroughly enjoyed it. Haven't been there for quite a while actually. We were going to take them to, well, it was suggested, Area 51, which to anyone who doesn't know is an indoor trampoline area. Loads of trampolines, different types, different sizes, and they've got them like these slanted ones that lean up, sort of, they look like they're propped against a wall that they can jump up, bounce back off, and yeah. But I'd already promised them Jungle Land yesterday, so we went there instead. Yeah, so as I was saying before you walked in, hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. I would say I am, but the weather here today is absolutely abysmal. It is throwing it down. We knew it would, but yeah, it's really heavy. I have a friend who calls it bouncy rain, you know, when you can just literally see the rain. And it almost does look like it's bouncing off the floor. That's how hard it's raining. And I haven't touched this diamond painting since the last time you saw it. I think I finished the section off camera and then I haven't touched it since because I've been working on my blanket. I know that'll shock a few people. It shocked Kelly when I told her yesterday. And then Kelly, when she picked us up to go to Jungle Land, dropped off a load of pots with spare beads in. And I just, wow. And it turns out, because I haven't watched her video yet, I know I'm so naughty. But she had a Disney princess one that she's binned because the image was just way too blurry. She even said it was giving her headaches, but I'm not surprised because your eyes think you know, you're not looking at the image properly, so it tries to focus. It turns out that the image is just so poor. And I just, where on earth did you get that from? She said, Wish, when I was in America. And she ended up binning it, so she's got a ton of spare drills. So I said to her, just, you know, out of curiosity, being as you've got your Heaven and Earth design, did you check the drills against your, yeah, your Heaven and Earth design chart? She went, no. So I did when I got home, being as I've, she sent me a photo of her pages. I've now got to give her back 7 pots and I think 4 bags. So she's got quite a few she can cross off her list now that she hasn't got to buy. So it saved her a few pennies. And then it's also helped me out just with a couple. So before we know it, we'll be all ready to start them. And I think we agreed we're going to do it together because Callie's a little bit nervous. She's never even attempted such a big project. And not only that, she's never done one with a blank canvas and worked from a chart. I think she's cross-stitched before. So she knows all about that, so she sort of knows what she's doing. But never worked on a blank canvas and drilled a heaven and earth design, so neither have I. I've cross-stitched one. And you guys have all seen that on one of my previous videos somewhere. So we're going to work on it together. Oh yeah, and a big hello, big, huge hello to all my new subscribers in the last few days. Welcome. I do have to laugh though. I'm not laughing at you, trust me. When they say they like my accent. And I just... it's funny because I listen to a lot of American people and I like the American accent, and you say that to them and they go, but I don't have an accent. And it's kind of the same the other way around. It's funny, I know. I'm currently 2 kids down, so I've only got one at home at the minute. My eldest one, bless him, he's been ever so nice. He's had my youngest 2 overnight last night and treated them to the little dessert shop, which is like a cake shop that you go and sit in and they do you this fantastic dessert on a plate. Oh my, it's delicious. I've been there before. Lucky buggers. They've rung me this morning because they finished it last night. They got to bring it home in a, I want to say doggy bag, but it's not, it's a box. It's like a pizza box. And they've been showing off what they've still got left. Little fatties. Bless him though, Riley did say, oh, I'll bring some home for you, Mum. Bless him. No, it's all right. You can burn them calories off a lot better than I can. I'm the sort of person I only have to look at a cake and I've already put on, you know, half a stone. That's before I've even touched it. Mind you, my thyroid, my levels, they're never stable. They're always up, they're down, they're up, they're down. They did up my dosage, that's a bad one. 4 weeks ago, I think. No. Oh, I don't know. Do you know what, when the kids are off school, it's like I lose days. It's hard to explain. It's like I don't need to know the day anymore and the date. So I just kind of get a bit lost. I mean, I was talking to my eldest. For any of you that are new, he's 19 by the way, and he lives with his girlfriend. They've been together since they were 16, 15 maybe. Anyway, yeah, he lives in his own place with her. He was arranging to have Tyler, which is my 13-year-old, overnight. Tyler wanted to go, Reese was willing to have him, so we were kind of sorting it out. And then he said, well, I think he went Monday night. He said, if the other two want to come and have a sleepover, I'll have them on Thursday, because it's my day off. And Lord knows, honestly, what was going on in my head. But I messaged him and said, it took me about an hour, I think, after we'd had this conversation to kind of sit and think. And I texted him, I went, you were meant to be in work yesterday, weren't you? And he wasn't, because he took a severe knock to his head, which after his accident when he was 15, he should be pretty careful. So he didn't go to work that day. And I said, well, you were due in work yesterday, weren't you? He said, well, yeah. I said, so you're due in work on Thursday then? He went, no, I'm not, Mum. Now, his shift patterns, I say they're weird, but they're not. He works 15-hour days. Because he works in he's a child support worker for children with special needs, and they live in, I don't want to call it a home because that sounds awful, but it's like a permanent residence where they live and go to school. It's like two buildings in one. It's their home on one side, their school on the other. So yeah, so he does 15-hour days. Now, because they're such long days, you work one day and have 2 days off to kind of recover. Not just because it's a 15-hour day, but because of the stress of the job. You know, you're working with children with autism, severe learning disabilities, you know, that kind of thing. So it's quite demanding. So he does 1 day on, 2 days off. Anyway, back to where I was going with the story. He went, no, Mum, due in on Wednesday. I went, but you were in yesterday. He went, yes, Mum, today's Monday. And I sat there and you know, when you just kind of feel totally confused and thrown. For whatever reason, I got it into my head. It was Tuesday that day. He said, no, Mum, it's Monday. Wow, I haven't forgot the day since. Oh dear, put in place by my 19-year-old. Shocking. Mind you, I have to say, him moving out and moving in with his girlfriend, he's sort of grown up a little bit. I was talking to him the other day about money, and he's like, you don't need to worry about it, Mum. I've got plenty. And I'm like, well, that's unusual, because a week after payday, you're normally on the phone to me. Mum, can you help me out? He's like, yeah, I'm all sorted now. I've got an overdraft. Oh, my God. And, you know, when your jaw hits the floor and you're like, really? I'm like, you know they're bad to get out of, right? Because every month then you kind of rely on them. Because then at the end of the month when you get paid, they take it straight out your pay packet. So then you're down again. And he's like, yeah, we'll be all right. But you kind of, you want to give him advice. But then you kind of think, well, you know, I need to take a step back. He needs to learn from his own mistakes, not mine. Because I've been there, done that. Loans, overdrafts. But I only learnt by my own mistakes, so okay, just for God's sake be careful. You know, it's an easy trap to fall into. So fingers crossed they do okay. Stop it. I do have to laugh though. He'll message me. Sometimes she'll message me as well and say, you know, I've had enough. Reese is moving back in with you. Where did that go? Pass. Changed my wax actually. And the other day he said, oh, Courtney's in one, on one even. I'm like, what now? He said, oh, I forgot to put the washer on, so she was in an arse with me for the rest of the day when she got home from work. And I laughed. I'm just like, your arguments are so trivial. I remember being that young, you know. Time flies though. It didn't seem like 5 minutes, you know. I was bringing him home and my mum was still here. She's the only one of my kids she's got to see. And he was 18 months old when she passed, so he doesn't remember her. You know, I've got all the photos there because before, when I had him, she started an album of photographs just for him. Photos of him when he was born, photos of him with her, because she had him overnight when he was 7 weeks old. So she's like all the photos, because my dad used to be camera happy. I suppose more so when he found out Mum was sick. But yeah, I now have that album. My dad doesn't have it. So he has got memories of my mum in pictures, just not for real, which is a shame. Do you know what? I didn't even tell you what diamond painting I'm working on, but I'm sure you can all gather. It's still the same one, Victoria's Moon. Oh, and do you know what? I never even emailed Alvina. I said I was going to do it when I got off the video and I never did. Hell, you get sidetracked. You think, right, I'll do that in a minute. And then as you're sort of pottering around, you spot something that needs doing. And before you know it, you forgot what you were just supposed to do in the first place. And I mean, it's been, a week, 2 weeks now since I said it? And for some reason it's just popped into my head. Yeah, these drills, they're not the best, but it's only the black. That's the weird thing. I think it's only the black. Was it the black and the blue? It might have been the black and the 939. Yes, the 939s. They're the only two colours that are like that. Which is really weird because all the other drills are perfect. Another bad one. Feels weird. I don't have to apologise for any kid noise because there's only Tyler here and I don't really see him. He sits in his bedroom. He was supposed to be going out today, but the weather is shocking. So if the light's a bit naff, I do apologise. It's a little awkward. Really, this wax. Get in there. Oh, and bless Paula, one of my subscribers. She's been ever so nice. She sent me a link for a cheap website for diamond paintings. because with money being just a little bit tight at the minute, it's been a bit of a struggle, but thank you, Paula, anyway. I'm going to go and have a proper look at them later. I just haven't had the chance yet. It's funny, when you're doing nothing, no one wants you. You know, like kids and whatever. But when the minute you sit down to do something, I mean, I've gone to pull my blanket out about 3 times this week so far. And the minute I even touch the frame to pull it out, the kids are in here. Mom, can you do this? Mom, can you do that? Really? It's funny, isn't it? Makes you laugh. They don't want you any other time unless you're doing something. Stop. Get on the... And I haven't touched my Rose Angel since I started this because I wanted to get this one done and out the way. Wax. Oh, yes, I know what I haven't said. You guys remember me saying about my operation that I was due to have. I should have had it by now. I would have done if they hadn't cancelled the date. The 2nd of August, wasn't it? Something like that. Well, they cancelled it anyway, as you know. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I finally got a letter. The 2nd of September. It had to be the day before the kids go back to school, didn't it? Well, 2 of them anyway. Tyler doesn't go back till the 4th. But Ellie and Riley, it's on the 3rd. And I've got to be at the hospital for 12:30 midday. I think it's like 3.5 weeks away. Now, bless Ellie in her long hair. It's not just her choice that it's long, it's mine too. I like it. But so does she, so I offered to cut it off. She said no. But yeah, she can shower herself, but she's not very good with her hair because it's so long. So I do her hair. So I'm thinking, well, I think I might have to shower her before I go into hospital on the Monday, just so that I can do her hair. My other half does it. But you know, when you kind of have a set way of doing things, like, you know, a routine and, yeah. I have a hair. Hazards of having animals. I can't get it off either. Oh no, it's snapped. No, I can't see it. Ow! You ever stabbed yourself with tweezers? Especially ever moment ones. But yeah. I would say I'm looking forward to it, but I am and I'm not. Don't get me wrong, being knocked out and, you know, anaesthetic and all that doesn't bother me. Oh, 2 together. Perfect. It's more the afterwards, because I know it's going to hurt, and I know for 6 months, you know, it's going to take a lot of physio and healing, and that's what I'm not looking forward to. And you know, when you've got kids, Riley especially, I mean, he turned 8 just over a week ago, and he's quite boisterous. Boys usually are. And so can Ellie be, really. She has got 3 brothers, so. Anyway, yeah, he can be a bit boisterous and bounce around, and quite often he'll come in and jump on me when I'm sitting on the settee. So it's going to be hard reminding him he's got to be careful, but my other half, bless him, he's never had an operation in his life, ever. So he's never been, you know, anaesthetised and knocked out, and so he's always like, "But doesn't it bother you?" No. And he's like, "But why?" Well, you know, I've been knocked out numerous times, 4, I think, already. This will be my 5th, I think. He's like, "But doesn't, you know, does the concern never cross your mind that you might not wake up from it?" No. Why not? Well, if I don't wake up, I don't wake up. I don't feel it, do I? You know, yeah, it'll be sad but, sorry, I'm trying to, I don't want to get my head in the way, but my drill's not straight. Get off. Really? Yeah, so, no, I'm not one of those who worries about it. If I don't wake up, I don't wake up. So be it. You know? Yes, it'll be sad for him and sad for the kids, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's a risk with all operations. I mean, crikey, I've had 4 of them already. And it is only a day thing, so I'll be in about midday, and I think I'll be home by 5 or 5, 6-ish, maybe. Fingers crossed. Because I know the kids will drive me over half mad. They can be quite intense sometimes, my kids. You can still see, can't you? Yeah, I just want to move it up just a smidgen. To get that blanket. Sorry, I was just thinking out loud. I go like that. Being as I've got the operation in 3 weeks, she wants the blanket before Christmas. So I'm going to have to get as much as I can done in the next 3 weeks, because afterwards it's going to be, I don't know when I'm going to be able to pick it back up. Because everyone knows crochet isn't a one-handed thing. I mean, by God, if I'm able to, I will get it out. Nothing will stop me. See, I find in life, I don't know if you guys find it the same, but you get like 2 types of people. When there's problems or, you know, illnesses or pain or things like that, you get the people who not succumb to the pain or whatever, but they kind of do, and it's like, oh no, I can't do that. It's like they won't even entertain the idea of it. And then you get another set of people who are like, do you know what? Pfft, I'm not going to let that stop me, and I'll get on with it anyway. That's me. I mean, if it hurts later, so be it. I'm used to not sleeping, so, you know. What is it they call it? Glass half full kind of person. Oh no, where did that go? I heard it hit the canvas. Oh, there it is. Landed straight as well, that's probably why I couldn't see it. I've done that so many times. Lost a drill on the canvas. Oh, wax. Okay, whatever. And there my washer goes singing away again. I really need to learn how to turn that feature off. Every time the washer's finished, it sings to you. Plays a tune, it drives me nuts. I even know the tune now. I sit here humming it and yeah. I know I'm nuts. Earworms as well, I'm terrible for those. My alarm clock, I don't have a standard one of them beepy ones. Oh my god, I hate those with a passion. So we bought a radio alarm clock, so the radio goes on every morning when the alarm goes off instead. But the problem with that now is whatever song's playing tends to be in my head all day from the minute the alarm goes off. And then you find that song drives you nuts. I used to find, my other half used to be terrible for songs. If like a new song came in the charts, that's a bad one, or whatever, and he really, really liked it, he'd buy the single. Did we buy that single though? I'm not sure, I think so. And he was terrible for playing it and playing it and playing it and playing it over and over again, which then makes me hate the song. And after this song, I think he drove himself nuts as well, so he stopped doing it. But it was a song by R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly. Oh my god, I hated that song after a while. Really bad. He doesn't really play it anymore. I think he did his own head in with it. It was a good song. I still struggle to listen to it now though. I'm not going to keep you guys much longer because, you know, you guys have got things to do as well. Shake them out. Oh, and I had a phone call from my sister-in-law this morning. I told you, like, my brother's son has come to live with him now. He's 11. And, like, my brother's gone back to work now. And She's looking after him while my brother's at work, because it's still the summer holidays here. They don't go back in a bit weeks. And she rang me this morning and she was, oh my God. See, he's been really polite and really nice, and he is a good kid, don't get me wrong. He's a nice kid. But apparently yesterday he was being cheeky, he was answering her back, and she was like, oh my God, what do I do? Because she's never had kids, bless her, which is not her own fault. She's always been advised against it because of her epilepsy. So she's never had any of her own. So she's kind of in new territory at the minute. And she was gobsmacked and she didn't know what to do, what to say. And I'm like, welcome to the world of, you know, young kids. I mean, they don't even have to be a teenager anymore to get their attitude and whatever. He's testing her. And I said, he will test. That's what they do. You know. You've been quite good with him up till now, you know, friends, but he needs to know that, yes, you're friends, but he can't walk all over you, and because kids will push, won't they? They like to test boundaries, and then she said she felt guilty for telling my brother when he got home from work, because then he got into trouble with my brother, and it's like, but you shouldn't feel guilty. You know, he was in the wrong. And she's like, yeah, but then he started crying and I felt even more guilty. Well, suck it up, buttercup. Welcome to the world of parenthood. No one ever wrote a manual on these things. You know. Another one. That's why I laugh at my eldest one, because he could be really bad some days, really, really bad. And he could shout at you, slam a door in your face, usual teenage antics, and he'd say, but my friend, their parents, and I'm like, but I'm not their parent, you know, I'm bringing you up my way, not their way. And now he talks to me, I think I've just dropped one on the canvas, he talks to me about having a baby, and I laugh, because you've got all this to come. You know, wait till yours turns teenage, and they're giving you the attitude, you know. You'll appreciate then just exactly what me and your dad went through. You know, and then they give you the usual spiel, but, you know, my kid won't answer me back like that. Well, I said that, you did me. But I mean, we grew up in quite a strict house. Not my mum, my dad. Yeah, quite really strict rules, to be fair. And I used to speak to my granddad, my dad's dad, and he'd say, you know, there's things you don't know, and he probably wouldn't want you to know, but he was quite the little tearaway, my granddad used to say, and he was quick with his answers and his mouth. I think my granddad said the one time my dad had chicken pox, and my granddad said, because my dad had put his shoes on, my granddad said, where do you think you're going? He went, I'm going out. My granddad says, I don't think so, sunshine, you've got chicken pox. He went, stop me, and off he went out the door. And my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, my dad did that. the dad that was like so strict on us, he's like, yeah, that's probably why. And then the one time my dad went out, and I think my granddad said it was about 2 o'clock in the morning when he finally came back through the door. Something like that. It could be, you know, wrong, but... And my granddad stopped him and went, what time do you call this? And my dad, oh my God, he looked at his watch apparently and went, about 2 o'clock in the morning, good night, and went to bed. I'm like, oh my God, if I'd have done that, I'd have got a right tanned ass. But I always swore, oh my God, I'd never be that bad with my kids. Don't get me wrong, I don't smack my kids at all. I just punish them with losing their tablets or their Xbox or, you know. I don't have to smack them to get them to do what they're supposed to do. Don't get me wrong, I do have days where I'm like, right, get to your room. Just, I can't even look at you right now. Because if you stay here, I'm going to scream at you. And mine are so... What's the word? It's like they play word games with me. I'm like, oh my God, you're 10 and 8. Like, Ellie was rocking one of the dining room chairs and I just put the chair down. She knew exactly what I meant, but she lay the chair on the floor with its back on the floor. I said, I told you to put the chair down. She said, I did. You didn't say it had to be on 4 feet. I really didn't know what to say to that apart from, but you knew what I meant. Yeah, they've really shocked me lately. I'm like, oh my God, if I'd have ever done that to my dad, you know, I'd have got a smack up the mouth or grounded with a slap. My mum hated it, absolutely hated it. She was never ever around when my dad was disciplining because she didn't like it. It's funny how times change though, isn't it? You know, parents used to be allowed to get away with, you know, not giving you a good hiding, but that's what we used to call it. And nowadays, you know, you can smack your kids, but you can't leave any welt marks or that kind of thing. Not that I'd ever hit my kids like that anyway, but it's just, you know, how times change, how it used to be okay and now it's not. And gosh, it's so quiet here. I'm really not used to it. Same as when we moved here, really. When I moved here, I only had 3 kids then, and Ellie, the youngest, was only 10 months old. But we'd come from only up the bleeding road, really, but we needed a bigger house. So we had this one. But the house we'd come from, the neighbour was horrific. She played music loudly till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm surprised her kids have never been taken into care because she'd sit in the garden drunk at that time in the morning while her then 5 and 2-year-old were running up and down the street. One of them nearly got run over by a taxi. Anyway, she'd have a karaoke machine on the front lawn at 2 in the morning, blasting it out. It was horrific. And then to move here was a real shock. There was no noise whatsoever. I mean, we've got, they're not elderly, but they're older people, both sides of us. The only issue are the idiots that live across the road, but to be honest, in comparison to what we used to live with, even they're saints. So yeah, the first few nights here, I don't think me and the other half slept very well because it was just too quiet. Oh, by God, I wouldn't want to go back to what I had before, but it was just massive shock. God, a decade ago I moved here. Wow. Time sure does fly when you're having fun. And when I lived at the old house, I never used to like to be in the house because the neighbours would go out as much as we could. We'd be away from home as much as we could. And now we live here. We've got amazing, amazing neighbours, both sides. Now it's like I've become a recluse. I don't like to be out. I love it. Sure, we've all had one of those at some point, haven't we? It really doesn't look like I've done much, does it? And how long have I been going? Oh my God, 47 minutes. Well, guys, I'm going to leave you there because I don't want to go on too long. Oh, crikey, that's worn me out now. Sorry, guys. Well, I don't know how much of this I'm going to actually get done before next week because I want to get my blanket out. I've got to crack on because I can do this with one hand. I just can't do the blanket with one hand. So I need to get as much of that done as I can. Oh yeah, and I ripped my cover sheet. I thought I'd cut it all the way across and I hadn't, so when I pulled the thing back, yeah, it ripped. Whoops. Never mind. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Enjoy it, whatever you do. Whatever you've got left of it. Yeah. I will catch you all in the next video. So subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to those who already have. Hit the notification bell. You know, the usual yada yada. Comments, questions, leave them down below. And I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Stay safe. Bye.